What's going on, people? It's your man, the YB, back once again. Big shout out to my doggy Light Star for coming through and boosting up the coin. The YB fixing to lose this weekend. Oops. Nah, much appreciation still. So, we're going to do the Usyk versus Fury prediction and gambling breakdown. I'll let you know what coins I got on right now. I ain't gonna lie to you. At one point I had 400 quid in this thing here. It's gone down to 40. I don't know what I've been doing. I don't know where it's. Honestly, I need to do some forensic accounting right now. It just seems to have disappeared. I put 50 on Dubois versus Parker. Another 50 on Beterbiev. That's why I should really wait and just do it every week. It's getting all a bit messy now. Anyway, let's cut to the chase. Fury Usyk. I didn't even put that on this fight yet. I messed up as well. I meant to put a bet on something or other, and I pushed the wrong button. I put 90 quid on something, so I need to get out of that. But I'm waiting for the Fury odds to go up. Otherwise, I lose 6 quid. Anyway, I haven't actually put nothing on Usyk yet. I'm going to wait for tomorrow. But my idea is, it'll be between 30 and 50 quid I'm going to put on Usyk. The odds a month ago were about 1.7 decimal for Usyk. So you can see they've got quite a lot longer. So you put before, a month ago or whatever, you put a tenner on Usyk and you got £7 profit back if you won. Now you put a tenner on Usyk, you get the best part of £9 back profit. I believe tomorrow it's going to be spark 50-50. You put a tenner on Usyk, you get a tenner profit back. And that's what I'm waiting for tomorrow. All the Fury Masexuals will come flooding in. That's what normally happens. They'll come flooding in, bash. I'll put 30 to 50 quid on Usyk. That's my plan. Usyk to win. I'm not looking to do none of these moody bets here, picking whether it's a knockout. I can see that after that first round with Fury, and his eyes were spinning in his head in the last fight. That was before he took the critical damage in round 9. He was finished then. So I will not be shocked at all if Usyk knocks him out. I really won't at all. It could be early as well. That same shot lands, and I can see when you're shot, it don't matter how hard you are, how much you want it. When you're finished like that, and you get clipped the wrong way, and Fury's always been a bit chinny. He's had another 6 months of age and falling over, spark drunk. When you're so incapacitated that you're falling over and knocking your head on the floor, that's not good for your body. I'm sorry. There's no evidence that that's really good and really positive for the peak of athletic pursuits. So we'll put all these factors in there. Do not be shocked if you choose. It could be round 2 or 3. I'm not saying it will be. I wouldn't advise betting on the early rounds, but I'm not going to be. I'll be shocked if it's the other way. If Fury comes out and clips Usyk early, I'm going to be, whoa. That's where I'm leaning. I'm putting 30 to 50 quid on Usyk at around 1-1. As far as the rest of the odds go, the most likely outcome at the book is Usyk to win by decision, which is at about 2.5-1. You put a tenner on Usyk to win by decision, you get £25 back. Profit, sorry. £35 back, £25 profit. Now, I wouldn't listen. Like I said already, if you bet on Usyk winning by decision, it might make sense. But if Fury gets clipped early, it won't make sense, and you'll be pissed off. I've done it before, where you bet on points and the guy gets sparked out, and it's like, fuck, you got the right guy, but you just tried to be too specific with it. The less specific you can be, unless it's obvious, like Beterbiev on points, where it's 10-1, it's worth a punt. Being less specific is, in my experience, better. Pick the right guy. Don't be. Some people say, YB, do round 8. You're never going to win them bets. Not that I win all my bets anyway, but I'm just saying, trying to pick a round is just hocus pocus. You'll never. There's no evidence you could possibly have knowing which round things will happen. However, you can build a case for one fighter to win or another to lose, kind of thing. More so than trying to pick rounds, or I can't even remember one bet I've won like that, where you've picked a round or you've picked a block of rounds. I remember I picked for David Avanesian to make it more than so many rounds against Crawford. Oops. That was probably one of the last times I thought I'm not doing that no more. It's a sport end of the day. 2 men fighting. Way too stochastic and random to be able to nail a round or nail a group of rounds in the main. The least likely outcome, interestingly enough, the bookies have it. Fury is more likely to knock Usyk out than he is to win by points. The least likely outcome right now, outside of the draw, is Fury to win by points, which is at 4-1. Essentially, it's 4-1 for Fury to win by points. So I don't think. Listen, you could. The problem is Turkey. Turkey's made this situation more irritating, to be honest. That's what Turkey's done. It's made it more. The way the whole industry's been acting, sucking what's his name off, sucking Fury off, and every single person, even the biggest detractors, are now blowing Tyson Fury. If everyone, all the pundits, have got that message, when them judges are out there and they're being wined and dined and they're hanging with people, it's been documented. Someone said a little while ago, oh yeah, I think it's wrong that Eddie Hearn's having dinner with the judges, or something like that. Maybe not Eddie Hearn, it was some sort of promoter. I mean, it's a community at the end of the day. These judges have to eat somewhere. And a lot of these, especially in Saudi, there's fighter hotels. Dave Allen said, oh, I met so-and-so fighter there. There's fighter hotels. Where do you think them judges are staying at? The same damn hotels. So they'll know the narrative here. And that's the risk. And that's part of the reason why I like backing Usyk to win in general, including the KO, including the decision. I guess you can argue, well, you're hoping for the KO, but I won't be shocked. So it's one of them ones. Usyk on points, purely, he can get bumped on the cards. He could really get bumped on the cards. He could win 8 rounds and get bumped. People would just... All that happens then is, Fury's got the belts. He can do what he wants, and people say, oh, it was a robbery. And life moves on. How many robberies have there been over time? People just move on. So it's not going to change the course of things if he's robbed, unfortunately. And it only takes someone being robbed for someone to be robbed, if that makes sense. There's nothing you can do. So that's why Usyk needs to have bad intentions. He needs to go out swinging in them latter rounds rather than go to the scorecards. It was way too close last time. I mean, God forbid Usyk doesn't score a knockdown or some sort of standing 8 count or whatever it was last time. If he doesn't get that extra capital on his side, you saw it last time. If he hadn't got that knockdown, he wouldn't have won. So there's a worry here. If Usyk schools him but don't get a knockdown, doesn't separate himself, any rounds, the rounds don't even have to be close. Fury could just be he could be losing them, but let's say they're 60-40 type rounds. Fury's getting them all, potentially, right? This could be a case where if Usyk wins 10 rounds at 60-40 each round, they all went to Fury, or half of them went to Fury kind of thing, and he ends up winning. So yeah, that's that part done. I've also put a tenner on... I've put a tenner on the fight to go the distance. And it's not bad. I mean, you put a tenner on and you get about £8.20 profit back. I like this bet, to be honest with you. Outside of the fact Tyson Fury's chinny, this bet makes some sense to me. It's probably one of the better bets. You can get more or less a 1-to-1 bet on a draw. This particular outcome, the fight going the distance, this covers everything but a knockout. So if the fight's a draw, if Fury wins by points, or if Usyk wins by points, you double your money. I like this one, to be honest. In general, betting on KOs, Usyk's not a massive puncher. So yeah, you know what, I might put a bit more on this one. I'll put another tenner on now, for what it's worth. Because there's no way Fury... my base case is, I'll be very shocked if Fury knocks Usyk out. So this is almost a little bit of a hedge for if there's a robbery. If I put 30 quid on Usyk and he loses Tyson Fury on points, you win on this bet. Obviously, the downside is you get cucked. If Fury knocks him out or Usyk knocks him out, you get cucked and you lose everywhere. No, I tell you what, I'd win on this one. I'd win on the 30 to 50 pounds I'll put on Usyk. That's what I'd win on. So, but it'll balance out. You'll lose on this one, so you'll make less profit or no profit. It's one of them ones there. But you cash out. If Usyk wins on points, for example, you win the Usyk bet and you win this one, so you're laughing. Which is probably, it probably is going to go points, to be honest. It probably is going to go points. Gun to my head, and that's what the market's saying. The market's saying the most likely outcome is Usyk on points. And gun to my head, I'd probably lean that way as well. Because Fury showed in the first fight that he knows how to run around. And he's also showed in the first fight, or with Ngannou, he hasn't got that, or he has, at least at this point hasn't shown it recently, that he wants to really dig in and fight. Yeah, his dad was saying, oh, run Tyson, run. Sugar Hill and Andy Lee were saying, you need these rounds. What did Tyson Fury choose to do? And he blamed his dad. Oh, people was telling me I was bossing it, and people was telling me to back off. But ultimately, Fury doesn't need to be told what to do. When he was in there with Wilder the first time and got put down in the last round, 12 or 11, he got up and had his best round. He didn't need... Ben Davison was about to pull him out. He didn't need to listen to Ben Davison being cautious and saying, oh, run, run, run. He knew what to do. So I tend to lean towards the fact that Fury knows what to do. He chose not to. He didn't want to for whatever reason. Go and get it against Usyk. It's nothing to do with John Fury, to be fair. He chose to. He didn't really want to get stuck in like that. Hence, if Fury comes out and he might go in there, it could be the case he goes in there just to survive. Especially if Usyk lands something heavy in the early rounds, Fury will be thinking, oh, I don't fancy that. And I think Fury's good enough and big enough. If he doesn't throw any punches, that makes sense. If Fury doesn't throw any punches and focuses solely on awkward defense, I can see him negotiating that fight. And really, Usyk would be more than happy to win 12 rounds in that case. That makes sense. It's not like Usyk's going to say, oh, this guy's scared, I'm going to go really put the hammer down. If Usyk's bossing the rounds and all Fury's doing is defending and running, a bit like Bivol was doing in them last few rounds, Usyk's not going to press it. And even then, that showed really, when someone's running, if Fury can run like Bivol did, it's hard to stop someone like that. Beterbiev's the most prolific pressure fighter we've got these days, and he couldn't get to Bivol. And Fury is not as... he's taller and he's bigger and he can run. So if all Fury has to focus on is running, I believe he can do that for 12 rounds. So yeah, I like Usyk, bottom line. But then again, the robbery factor. The robbery factor is the only question here if it goes to points. I don't think Fury will legitimately win. Yeah. So Fury only has to win 5 rounds to get the W here. Anyway, my prediction is Usyk on points. That's where that's going. I can't say my prediction's Usyk to buy stoppage. That's just me though. I struggle to do. I'm rarely cool, even with Beterbiev versus Bivol. I said that at this very top level, when guys don't want to engage, it's hard to stop them. It really is difficult to stop someone. Even look at Canelo versus 154-pound Jamal Charlo. Or Callum Smith. When someone doesn't want to engage, it's almost impossible to stop them at that level. And that's what I believe will happen. It's more likely Fury feels something and don't fancy it and goes into self-preservation mode, and he'll be able to negotiate the rest of the rounds. So that's that thing done anyway. Now, let's go to my other bets. I got a tenner on Dave Allen, as I've explained already, at 10-1. That's a punt, but at 10-1, these are the gambles I'm taking all day and night. I love them big numbers. Same as the other one. What was it? Well, the Beterbiev. Beterbiev on points at 10-1. I'm taking that all day and night. It's worth a punt at that price. You can't. That's a lottery ticket there. I've also gone a bit mad. I'm not going to lie. This is part of where all the money's gone I had in my account, and this almost got me into trouble a little while ago. I've got 100 quid on a Talma at essentially a 10% return. So you put 100 quid on, you get a tenner profit back. But it's a cert, right? So it's like, in my mind, it's a free tenner, in theory. And when I had a lot of money hanging around, I had about 5 grand at the time. I had 5 grand in my Betfair account, yeah? I put 2 grand on Daniel Dubois at similar odds, at 10% return. So I put 2 grand on at 10% return, so you got 200 quid profit. It was Dubois versus Kevin Lorena. And Dubois gets put down like 2 or 3 times in that fight. Ultimately ended up winning. But it's like, oh my god. So you can get cucked here. But the Talma's meant... I like a Talma. I've watched him a little bit now. He's meant to be the big thing. So I'm just going based on the narrative. I shouldn't really though. He's a light-skinned Donny. So don't be shocked, folks, if I get bumped here. Do not be shocked. I got a wanner here. Got a wanner on the Talma. Because in theory, these ones here, these kind of bets here should just pay off all day and night, right? You should just put them on and you get paid free money, in theory. More time. The bump may be in play here. And if it's not, you're laughing. If I had a grand hanging around, I'll put a grand on. That's 100 quid. Like, that's good business, right? £300. Who don't want a £300? I've been thinking about that as a strategy. Picking absolute certs. But then again, look at Munguia. You only need one moody bump, right? If I'd have been doing that strategy of picking absolute certs, we'd have all picked Munguia, right? We'd have all picked Bumguia, wouldn't we? We'd have put a grand on Bumguia at these moody odds. Bah, she lost your grand. So this game's just mad. But I'd like to think they've talked about him enough. They've talked about it. I've watched a little bit of him, Talma. They've talked about him so much, I'm just throwing money thinking, yeah, that's a cert. We'll find out. Anyway, I've also got, I think that's it. I've showed you the Dave Allen I've got on there, the Talma I've got in there, and the Fury Usyk. Yeah, we're done, folks. That's where we're at. I'm not going to do an ACCA of Dave Allen and a Talma, and if I was going to do any ACCA, I don't know. Nah, I'm not going. There's no value here for an ACCA, to be honest. You know what though? Ishmael Davis, he got boxed up by Josh Kelly though. Well, to some extent, he's a big old nick though. He's a big old nick. And that Bochuk, he won't be running like Josh Kelly did. And even then, with Josh Kelly running, Ishmael Davis at 10-1. I mean, I put a pound on, get a tenner back, right? Let's put a pound on, because he's a big old strong nick. And when he started pressing Josh Kelly looked better out of shape. And Bochuk will be sparking in front of him. I'm not saying Ishmael Davis, and he's coming in on late notice. But I'll put a pound on. You can't go wrong with a pound, can you? Let's put a pound on at 9-1. Yeah, sweet. Alright, people, let me know your thoughts. In fact, let me talk about how I think the fight will go. Man, I'm trying to predict how it will go. I think most likely it will be similar to the first fight. All this talk about, Fury wins every rematch in devastating fashion. He's fought a bunch of bums in rematches, man. Stop playing that narrative. He's fought a bunch of bums in that. Chisora, they talk about, he fought Chisora and he did this. To be fair, he went life and death with Chisora in the rematch. He didn't do nothing. He was just slapping his hand backwards. Alright, that was a great victory. The Wilder fight, fair enough. He's a basketball player and can't box. Fury don't have wins like rematch wins over people like, I don't know, pick someone half decent. He doesn't even have wins over Joe Parker like that, or a Zhang, or anyone like that, or even Andy Ruiz. They're all proper stiffs. Those are the rematch wins Tyson Fury has. And Wilder, who's unproven. To this day, Wilder, I don't care if he's 40, he's unproven at the top level. Fact. He's beat one top level guy allegedly who was 60 years old. Luis Ortiz, that's the only guy you can ever mention him beating. And that guy, verifiably, was 60. He was the same age as Tete. Obviously, Ortiz has got better skills, that's why he looked better. But his legs were the same legs and the same coordination as Tete, who is estimated to be 58 plus. So you have to discount Ortiz. Any half-decent, half-alive athlete, Zhang, Parker, Fury, he can't do nothing. He can't get it done. So forget about Wilder. Anyway, how the fight goes, I'd bet on it being similar to the last fight, to be honest. Fury will come out and he'll be straight on the back foot and he'll be picking and poking because he doesn't want to get at it. He's said as much. The majority of this fight build-up, he's said, I'm going to pick and poke and keep picking and poking. That's what I'm going to do. I'm pick and poke and do a little bit more than last time. That tells you his mindset, man. That was whilst he was in camp as well. Then again, Fury does tell a lot of lies. Maybe after the fight, immediately he said, I'm going to knock this guy out next time. I can't win on the cards. But he's probably had a conversation with Turkey, and Turkey said, no, don't worry about that. You can win on the cards. You can knock this guy. You can definitely win on the cards now because I've put the fix in. That could be why Fury's saying, I'll just do a little bit more because now Turkey's 100% got my back. That said, you can't really bet on them kind of factors. Oh, Turkey might do this, Turkey might do that. Equally, Usyk could just clip this big old oaf. Seriously, he could just clip this big old timber-looking ass oaf. Bash! We've already seen his eyes. There's a whole bunch of videos on it. He gets bopped and his eyes are spinning. I've never seen no old school Donnie get hit and their eyes are like chopping and shape shifting. So that shows you there's an element of shotness there. And that was in the first round against Usyk when he was fresh as a daisy. That's a worrying neurological sign. When your eyes aren't tracking properly, when you're fighting someone that's there and you're looking over there, that's a neurological issue. Seriously, that's not a joke. So early, it wasn't because he was tired and that was literally a bash and he's like, we're cross-eyed. Fury talks about cross-eyed. He was cross-eyed in that first fight. Fact, documented. Nothing to do with my biases. His eyes was crossed. I saw it live at the time and thought, oh, that's not good. I should save my money. I didn't because I was cucked. But Bottom line, I wouldn't lie to you about it. I saw that in the first round. I thought, oh, this isn't good. His eyes shouldn't be like that, man. He shouldn't be doing that. And that's not his fault. It's not about how much heart he has or doesn't have. He's neurologically compromised, is the point. Yeah? And I can't bet on someone with shot knees, and their eyes are twisted, cross-eyed, when they get hit. I never remember watching no old school fights and seeing their eyes like looking over there, and the guy's fighting. He's like this. Put him up. Usyk's right there. He's like this. Trying to box. You can't box someone, people. You can't box someone right in front of you when you're looking over there. Yeah, and Fury wasn't choosing to look over there. His eyes was crossed, man. Usyk knocked the cross eye into dude. And I can't bet on someone who has cross eyes in the first round. Or stiff knees in the last half of the fight. Or stiff knees, full stop. So, outside of a robbery, there's slim to nil chance that Fury's going to do anything. Absolutely slim to nil chance outside of a robbery. He's not knocking Usyk out. In fact, I might have a look at... Let's have a look at the odds of Fury not... You can bet on Fury not getting a knockout. It's going to be crap, though. Fury not getting a knockout, yeah, it's not that good. So you put a tenner on and you get about 20... You put a tenner on, you get £2 profit back. So like a 20% return. Betting on Fury not to get a knockout. Does that make you hard? It's not worth my time. I'd rather put more on Italma, for example. That's a dead cert. Anyway, people, the fight will be like the first fight. He'll feel something or not feel something. He'll just run back to the ropes and he'll be very conservative. His butt will be tight, is my base case. He will not want to go through the fire. He hasn't got it left in him, in his heart, in his mind, or in his legs. And even if he does have it for a little bit in the early rounds, when he starts getting tired, you have to really be hungry, like Usyk, fighting for your country. To fight when you're tired and you've got nothing left, it comes from a higher power. It's very hard to do it just because you're being paid, which is what Fury's doing now. So yeah, I'm backing the man with... I've told you for a long time, recently at least, I'm backing the man with heart, confirmed. I'm backing the man with legs, confirmed. Fury don't have no heart or no legs. Ask him Bongo. Why were you going life and death with him Bongo? Who AJ poled over in 2 rounds, poleaxed, didn't get hit once. How's that possible unless you're shot to pieces? And all was no good anyway. Either way, you can't win this fight. How about that? Oops. Anyway, on a more technical note, the last few things I want to wrap up on this Usyk Fury prediction is... I talked about this the other day. These are some quotes from Team Usyk. Let's get to them and I'll break it down how it's relevant to the outcome of this fight. He says, I feel good at my weight, 222 pounds. So we know what weight he's coming in. He's coming in a pound lighter, so he's not massive. I like this. He looked good last time. I prefer him to be a pound lighter. He doesn't need to be. He can already hurt Fury at 223. He don't need to go up to 230. That's the problem Wilder had. Wilder kept packing weight on for the fighters and just got stiffer, slower and more goosed. Wilder was hanging in that third fight and he put on about, best part of 30 pounds, 25 pounds from the first fight where he was 210. He came in 238. He was hanging. Big bar. Imagine a basketball player weighing 238, not a lick of meat on the legs. Come on, people. So I like this for Usyk. It makes sense. Fury is still a mystery. We've got the weigh-in coming soon, so we'll see what happens there. Anyway, Usyk says, I don't feel too heavy. I don't feel too light. I feel perfect. Bash. That's not the cruncher. Here's the cruncher. Here's the Johnny Bash. My fans can expect something similar again, but we may switch up a few things a little bit, he said. My team and I have a few secrets for Saturday. The relevance for this is, if I had to believe one man has something in... a lot of these cats like AJ and that talk about, oh, I've got the secret weapon. Oh, my name's Ben, Mr. Maggie Davison, and AJ can debunk Danny Dubois' double jab because you can actually counter off the double jab. Oops. I don't believe Ben Davison. Come on, people. I don't believe Ben Davison. That's what I don't believe. That said, if I had to believe any team had some secrets cooked up, who has the ability to execute secrets, it's going to be Usyk all day and night, right? Yeah? If someone can pull a rabbit out of a hat, I'm not betting that on Fury. I'm not betting Fury can... People talk about, oh, he's had a wicked camp and he's got secrets. Really? When was the last time we saw something magical from Tyson Fury? Punching up a basketball player. And that was straight up and down. He stepped in, up. The third fight with Wilder, he got put down twice in 1 round. So it wasn't that mystical, was it? Usyk, I believe, he has the ability to download information from the first fight. And I guess you can argue that AJ did better in the second fight. That's fair enough. Listen, I'm just saying. Usyk, for the first time in his career, fought like a pressure fighter. He'll know enough now. I've mentioned already, it might be the case, and possibly it's advisable. Usyk really should come out and try and box with Tyson Fury. That's his go-to thing. Start boxing. Let Fury... Don't compete with Fury when Fury's pinging himself the first few rounds. Box with Fury when he gets weared out, which is traditionally Usyk's tactic. Traditionally, Usyk, he lost quite a few rounds against Tony Bellew, and then bash, Tony Bellew's wheels fell off. Box with him, keep him busy. Then the last 6, when Fury's legs and arms are gone and it's hanging, you go I'm hard, but a bit on him. That'd be my strategy if I had to write it. So who knows what he's planning here. I would like to see a few rounds, I have to admit, of Usyk boxing with Fury, just to see, get a taste for it. You never know, right? Because in the first fight, all we saw was quite unusual for Usyk. And stuck to his head, he's coming straight in. I'd like to see some more herky-jerky from Usyk and politic them early rounds, let Fury blow his load, and then it's almost a changing. It's a changing of the pace, or a changing of the tempo, giving Fury different looks is the point I'm making. He gave Fury the same look, which actually enabled Fury to have success in round 5 and 6, if that makes sense. Fury knew by rounds 5 and 6, he knew Usyk's going to be right here, right in front of me, so he could then walk you on. If you're mixing it up, you're boxing a bit, you're giving it the moody jippo herky-jerky, like Usyk does, and you know what I mean? Drop your lead hand like Usyk does, and being more elusive, and then you're mixing it in with pop, slip, whap. It's hard to get a read of that. You don't know whether you're coming or going. Oops. And that is really what Usyk does well, historically. When he punched up Dubois, he did some moving, and then he did some, towards the end of the fight, when Dubois was goosed, he started coming in. Stick to what you know, man. Usyk's good at wearing you out in the first rounds, not doing much, and then bash, he's on your ass and you're goosed and shit out of luck. That's his go-to, so I'd like to see that, to be honest. As it happened, that pressure fighting, Usyk was knackered in towards the back end, which is unusual for him. So I don't think... Maybe Usyk's going to show us that he's the second coming of I'm hard, but Turbiev, and he's going to go in there, pop, whap, and just walk through Fury. And if so, great, but strategically, if I had to tell him to do one thing, it'd be that. Ease into it, do what you normally used to do, box, and then give it to him in the last 6. Change it up, he'll be... you won't know what's coming. But yeah, if I had to bet someone knows something that we don't know, it would be Usyk at this point. Even if Fury did know something we didn't know, he ain't got the legs to execute it. Oops. Also, he said, this is a big opportunity for me, for my country, and for the young people to look up to me. So listen, like I mentioned, he's fighting for a greater cause here. That is powerful. Powerful. So, bash, I got Usyk winning. And before I go, I do want to play some of these bars. I mentioned I got some coin on Dave Allen, but I did the video on it the other day, but I want to replay it. These are some of the most historic bars I've ever heard. These bars inspired me to put coin on him. I'm not going to lie. Listen to these bars here. If you don't get inspired hearing this here, I don't know what to tell you. He looks good, in good shape to me, but he can lose his head. Listen, these bars are 10 out of 10.
Around 3 or 4 to start, and he looks over to me. And
as soon as the bell goes, there's no mercy.
I can't wait for round 3 or 4 to start, and he looks over to me and his mouth's wide open, and he's knackered, and I'm just smiling at him. And then the panic will set in, and then I'm going to get a little bit closer to him, and we'll hear his breathing, and then I'm going to knock him spark out.
Oh man, if you don't get inspired to put a tenner at 10 to 1 on Dave Allen, I don't know what to tell you. It could all be waffled though. He waffled in the Dave Price fight, he waffled in the Fraser Clark fight, so this could be a cucking, but at 10 to 1 and the circumstances have changed, Dave's now got a family, and this is his last chance. He'll never be nowhere near anything like this again. So it's go time now for him. And for a tenner to pay 100 back, why not? I don't rate Johnny. Johnny's like a hype job at this point. He's blowing through bums, complete stiffs. That's what he's doing. He doesn't want the Joe Joyce fight because they're friends or whatever. Like, who do you want to fight then? Come on. Who do you want to fight? Dave Allen. You've dug Dave Allen out. So if Dave turns up, I'll be very shocked if he gets bowled out by the Romford Bull. Too big, too strong. Too big, too strong. He knows his way around a ring, does Dave Allen. And if he comes, and even in them days where he came in not in shape and not taking it seriously, he did half okay. So you're betting here on, can this wrong 'un get it right once? And if he's ever going to do it, people, now with the Saudi bag, and this is his last opportunity. If he gets knocked out in a few rounds and don't turn up to win, if he makes it a great fight and loses, for example, that's one thing. If he comes in there and just stinks the place out and don't do nothing, don't throw his hands and just shit himself, then he'll be back at the Bromley Leisure Centre like he was last time fighting that other dude the other month. He was back in Sheffield at Bromley Leisure Centre is where he'll be, and that's what he'll deserve. This is it now, Dave. Yeah, you need to muster it's one of them ones now. It's time to go now, Dave. Yeah, for your kids, for your missus. It's time to go now. That's what it's time to do. Let them hands go. Put your chin down. Babash! And go to work on this new age Johnny Fisher. Johnny Bash. That's what you must do now. It's time to really... Don't be telling me, oh, I've got a great chin and no one's ever knocked me down. I don't want to hear them bars. Them bars are tired now. Now it's time to go out on your spark on your back. I don't want to hear about, oh, no one can put me down. I want to hear that I went out there and give it a good go and he sparked me clean out, if that's the way the cookie crumbles. Anyway, people, let me know your thoughts. Smash the like button, subscribe. Tell a lie. Just before I go, Moses Atalma. I do have a little reservation thinking about it now. Even though I'm £100 deep right now. Ben Davison's his trainer. But listen, Atalma knows his way around the ring. Ben can't be that bad, surely not. Hopefully he don't come in there. No, Atalma can box, not like AJ. He's not stiff as a board and low IQ, so it shouldn't matter how estrogenic Ben Davison is, he should find a way to get through it. And that McKean's okay, but he's stiff as a board as well. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Smash the like button, subscribe, like off the bell, 100%. There's no doubt about this. Some people, stop it.